Hi, I'm Tish and welcome back to my channel Auto Social UK. As a car reviewer, I often get asked, what is your favourite car that you've ever reviewed? And it's a bit of a funny choice because it's something that I never got to drive until today. And if you haven't guessed already, of course, it's the Kia EV6, which has very kindly been lent to me by Underwood's Kia in Colchester. Now, you guys that have been stuck around for a while will know that I actually got to go to Marbella with Electroheads to test out the Kia EV6. But because we were abroad, I was too chicken to drive it. Overall though, I love the styling, the interior, everything that this car has to offer. So the last box that I need to tick is that drive, and that's what I'm going to do today. So if that sounds good, then please make sure you keep watching and let's find out if it's still my favourite car to have come out of 2021. And make sure that if you like car reviews and car content, that you hit that subscribe button. Okay, so let's start by talking about that fantastic styling. Kia didn't go in just one direction with the EV6. Its large dimensions have the space of an SUV, but similar to the Polestar 2, you sit much lower like a conventional hatchback. By not pinning itself down as one thing, that means the Kia EV6 has lots of competition. Take for instance the Mustang Mach-E, the Volkswagen ID.3, something bigger like the ID.4 or also the Skoda Enyaq. And then Kia actually plans to take away some customers from those premium cars, like maybe the BMW iX3 or perhaps the Polestar 2 or the Model 3. It wants to build itself as something brand new, and I think the EV6 is the car to do that. The thing that I love about this is it's starting afresh. It's not proving itself as something it once was, a lot like the Mustang Mach-E. I love the styling of that car, but I didn't think it was a Mustang. The EV6 is something altogether fresh and new, and that means that I can appreciate its styling. I love that swooping front bonnet with those sharp creases down the middle, and of course it's finished off with that new sleek Kia badge. Also, you've got sharp lines around the front of the grille with that gloss detailing. You've got these surround LED lights that wrap around those signature Kia lights. Then you've got these wheels, 19-inch as standard, all the way up to 21s on this GT Line S. Again, they're finished in a two-tone design, which give you that EV kind of touch, but they still look fantastic. You've also got nice touches like the wing mirrors are angular. It just stands aside from anything else on the road. Such a simple little design. The side of the car is not fussy. There's not too much going on. You've got these flat door handles, which to be honest aren't my favourite. They're a little bit fiddly to use, but they do give the car this sleek look all the way to the rear. Now the rear is my favourite part. This is my favourite view. I love the rear of the Kia EV6, but this is probably the part which is going to split quite a lot of opinions. It seems to morph into something altogether once again. It looks almost like an estate because of this extended tail light. I love this extended tail light that juts out. As loads of people have said, it looks a lot like the Aston Martin DBX, but without the ridiculous price tag. You've also got a matching spoiler, which yet again looks much sportier. It juts out at the side with those sharp lines. Talking of those sharp lines, there doesn't tend to be as many on the rear, but those tail lights, they sweep down into this incove, which has this detailed kind of diamond effect. I'm not too sure about the plastic part, but actually it all ties in very well together. As with the Hyundai Ioniq 5, it's a surprisingly big car in the metal. At 4,680mm long and 1,880mm wide, it's 31mm longer than a Skoda Enyaq, although width is virtually identical. In comparison to a standard hatchback like the Volkswagen Golf, the EV6 offers an extra 396mm in length and 91mm in width, although just 59mm taller. If you're somebody that loves a gadget, then the Kia EV6 has one of the best ones, and that is summoning with the key. Now, if I press the forward button, begin to move forward. Of course, if it sees any objects, it will stop, and it will also reverse. Now this is fantastic for getting in and out of car parks if it's a little bit tight and you want to make sure that you can get in and out of the car easily. Now, how cool is that? I love this feature. The back of the Kia EV6 is a really nice place to be. I'm super comfortable back here, especially the legroom. There is tons of it, thanks to there being no transmission tunnel. But there are pros and cons. Let's start with the positives back here. I love the fact that in the top spec GT Line S, I've got rear heated seats, which is lovely to see. I've also got a pull-out armrest with a couple of retractable cup holders. You'll also find the rear USB-C charging ports built into these front seats, which I love. But here's some of the negatives, and they're not huge, but they're just things that I've noticed. These front seats do feel really plasticky. You do sit with your knees quite high up because the batteries are built into the floor. The rear bench feels like it's quite low down. I'm comfortable, but with people with longer legs might find their knees will sit up quite high, especially if they've got someone quite tall in the front seats. It might become a little bit of a problem. I've also found that the middle seat is really uncomfortable. There's a part of this seat that digs into your back and it's a little bit hard, so you wouldn't really want to carry 3 passengers over a long period of time. However, everything else is really nice. It is dark back here, but you can see through to the front and you've got loads of light coming through that massive rear windscreen. Considering the size of the EV6, its 490 litre boot isn't all that remarkable, although that's a similar amount that you get in the pricier Jaguar I-Pace. Access is good because the large hatchback opening and the load bay is usefully square shape, with some space under the floor for the charging cables and a retractable parcel shelf. You'll be able to fit slightly more luggage in the Tesla Model 3 and Volkswagen ID4, although the Model 3's saloon opening inevitably makes packing more of a challenge. There's also a front boot. On the rear-wheel drive model it holds 52 litres, but that does drop to just 20 litres in this all-wheel drive model. I really love what Kia have done with the design of the Kia EV6. It feels super modern and comfortable in here. However, personally as a girl, I feel that everything feels just a little bit boyish. It almost feels like a teenage boy's bedroom. There's some gloss black, some chrome, some grey, some black, and there's also this stripy detailing across the dashboard and on the armrest. Get where I'm going with this now? And you've also got these head restraints that feel like something straight out of Star Wars. But for everything that's important, it gets a great big tick next to it. Practicality. There's a couple of centre cup holders which will hold 2 drinks. You've also got this charging station, which is somewhere practical where you can use it. You've also got loads of charging options. There is absolutely tons. USB, USB-C, you've got the 12-volt chargers, you've even got a 3-prong charger in the back. So many options. And then the space. You've got tons of storage. In this centre armrest, you've also got down the centre console, which is large, but it didn't quite fit my handbag. You've got some nice sized door cards. It is let down slightly by not having the storage drawer that you get in the Ioniq, but overall everything feels really good quality and very practical here. I am a big fan of these 2 sweeping colour touchscreens. I think that they look fantastic and much more sleek and stylish than some of the tablet designs that they're using in EVs, like on the Mustang Mach-E. The highlight for me, however, is definitely this touchscreen down here. Now you can actually switch between 2 different styles. You can have your climate controls with actual physical dials to turn the climate controls up and down, and then you can press this button and it changes the buttons to actually do your map functions, your radio functions. Again, you've got a physical volume control and you've also got a physical tuner. I really like this design. I think it's a very clever way of moving things off of the main screen and popping them somewhere else and making them modern, but also making them physically interactive as well. There are some things, however, I would change. I think that the touchscreen is just a little bit dull. It feels a little bit boring. You can change this to be white and it will be much brighter. However, it doesn't change the fact that the graphics used, in my opinion, are just a little bit boring. It's slightly fiddly as well. It takes a long time to work out everything this car can do, and that's a lot. You can change the colours of your ambient lighting. You can also have, where is it? I can't even find it. Go into media. You've also got your sounds of nature. These are your calming ocean waves and different things like this. There are tons of functions, but it will take a while to get used to them all. Two setups are available at the core of the EV6 range, a 226 rear-wheel drive configuration or a 321 brake horsepower dual motor car with all-wheel drive. All have a 77.4 kilowatt-hour usable battery capacity, with Kia claiming a maximum range of 328 miles from the rear-wheel drive version. Thanks to super-fast 235 kilowatt charging, you can top up the battery from 10% to 80% in as little as 18 minutes, quicker than you can charge an entry-level Tesla Model 3. Winter sun has got to be one of the worst filming conditions, so I'm really sorry if the sun flares up and ruins this video at any point. But the first thing that I really noticed with the Kia EV6 is just how driver focused it is. This sweep around screen, you've also got the centre console. It all feels like it's been set up for the driver, which is fantastic and something that's kind of lost from EVs. Something else that's lost with EVs is the feel through the steering wheel, and the Kia EV6 definitely still has that connection. You feel connected. This feels like a driver's car, and that's a huge plus point in my eyes. No versions of the EV6 are particularly slow. Even the entry-level rear-wheel drive car gets 226 brake horsepower and a 0 to 62 time of 7.3 seconds. Yes, okay, in the world of EVs, we're getting used to kind of 0 to 62 times of under 4 seconds, but that is ludicrous, and most of the time you don't need that type of power. 7.3 used to be hot hatch territory. It used to be a really good 0 to 62 time, and you can feel it in the Kia EV6, even in the lower powered models. Because of its setup being so much firmer, it definitely feels like a quick car. Another indication that this is a driver-focused car is the drive modes, which is on the steering wheel, which I absolutely love. Now, if you hit this button, you can toggle between eco, normal and sport. As you can imagine, sport stiffens everything up. It gives you that spirited driving, which might be a bit too much for day to day. If you hit normal, that's your standard mode that you're probably going to want to be in most of the time. It still gives you that engaging feel and quite a lot of power, but it's not too firm. The last one is your eco mode. This is of course going to reduce your consumables and also reduce some of that power. I wouldn't really want to use eco mode unless I had to. Now here is a tiny little bit of a bugbear that I found with the EV6. As you toggle through these driving modes, they go round in a circle. Eco, normal, sport. Eco, normal, sport. Now this isn't too much of an issue, but I have found when going from sport to eco, there's that real harsh change. You go from a lot of power, then suddenly to none, and you do really feel that difference. Whereas if it toggled to normal each time from sport and eco, I feel like this wouldn't be such a harsh change. It's quite a big car, kind of Skoda Octavia sized, and that means that you'd expect it to lose some of that sharpness around the bends, but not at all. The Kia EV6 is a real delight around corners with minimal body roll. Despite feeling like you sit up quite a bit higher, the actual car is quite low to the ground, much lower than a lot of these SUVs like the Skoda Enyaq, and that means that it definitely feels far more planted on the road. As you can expect with such a tech-focused car, it comes with plenty of safety equipment and also driving aids. These include forward collision avoidance, hill start assistance, an intelligent speed limiter, lane following assistance and lane keeping assistant. One thing I have noticed with the Kia is they're not invasive, which is a huge thing for me. I hate in cars when you have loads of flashing lights and loads of noises, and most of the time you don't even know what they are. With the Kia, you get a few little blings to let you know that you've gone over the lines, as demonstrated very well there, and you get it on your head-up display as well. But other than that, it's not shouting at you all of the time like I found in a lot of other electric cars. Being the top spec GT Line S model, that means that it gets those handy camera blind spot sensors which come up on your dashboard when you indicate. Gimmicky or not, I found myself using these a lot. They're really helpful. Rear visibility in the Kia EV6 is not great. It's a big car with a small rear window, and that means that blind spots are actually pretty bad on this car. So to have those in the top spec model, I found myself using them rather a lot. Something we know from existing Kia electric owners is they're really good at maintaining that predicted range, which when you have a car with a claimed 300 miles, is really impressive that it gets close to that. Some cars it drops down to 250 and then it's not so great, but to be achieving 300 miles is really impressive. The one shame that I have is that they haven't kept a heat pump as standard in all models. The one thing I find myself thinking that is quite a shame is because this is such a driver-focused car which has a really punchy engine and is really spirited around the back roads, which you don't get with a lot of electric cars, is its size. It seems a little bit of a shame that it is set up to be an SUV. I know it makes sense because it's much more practical, you can fit a lot more people in, but it would have worked really nicely as a sports saloon. So the final piece of the puzzle is complete. I finally got to drive the Kia EV6. And of course, just like I knew it wouldn't, it didn't disappoint. But let me know, what do you think of the Kia EV6? Does it deserve to be my favourite car of 2021? Or should I have chosen something else? Let me know in the comments below. If you are interested in the Kia EV6 and you want to order one with delivery by, yep, I've heard spring, then make sure you follow the link in the description box to Kia Underwoods and they'll be happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching this video today. If you've liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Until next time guys, see you later.